timely implementation of the 2017 budget, improved management of foreign exchange, as well as security gains across the country, especially in the Niger Delta and Northeastern axis, should be firmly anchored to enhance confidence and sustainability of economic recovery. Committee identified the downside risks through this outlook to include weak financial intermediation, poorly targeted fiscal stimulus, and absence of structural program implementation. The considerations of the committee. Notwithstanding the improved outlook for growth, committee assessed the implications of the uncertainties arising from the continued normalization of monetary policy by the United States Fed and the implications of a strong dollar, the weak recovery of commodity prices, and the uncertainty of the U.S. fiscal policy. Committee similarly evaluated other challenges confronting the domestic economy and the opportunities for achieving economic growth and price stability in 2017. Committee expressed satisfaction with the gradual but consistent decline of inflationary pressure in the domestic economy, noting its substantial base effects, continuous improvements in the Naira exchange rate across all segments of the foreign exchange market, and considerable signs of improved investments inflows. Committee welcomed the move by the fiscal authorities to engage the services of asset tracing experts to investigate the tax payment status of 150 firms and individuals in an effort to close some of the loopholes in the tax collection towards improving government revenue. However, the committee expressed concern about the slow implementation of the 2017 budget and called on the relevant authorities to ensure timely implementation, especially of the capital portion, in order to realize the objectives of the economic recovery and growth plan. Committee believes that at this point, developments in the macroeconomy suggest two policy options for the committee: to hold or to ease the stance of monetary policy. Against the backdrop of the outlook for the domestic and global economy, the enthusiasm around the base effect which reduced inflationary pressures and the continuous relative stability in the Naira exchange rate, there is need to maintain cautious optimism given the potential ramification of a major deviation from the existing policy path. The committee is not unmindful of the high cost of capital and its implications on the still ailing economy, which arguably necessitates an accommodating monetary policy stance. The MPC also noted the liquidity surfeit in the banking system and the continuous weakness in financial intermediation, but agreed on the need to support growth without jeopardizing price stability or upsetting other recovery macroeconomic indicators, particularly the relative stability in the foreign exchange market. The MPC thinks that easing at this point would signal the committee's sensitivity to growth and employment concerns by encouraging the flow of credit to the real economy. It would also promote policy consistency and credibility of MPC decisions. Also, the committee observed that easing at this time would reduce the cost of debt service, which is actually crowding out government expenditure. The risks to easing, however, would show in terms of upstaging the modest stability achieved in the foreign exchange market, the possible exit of foreign portfolio investors, as well as a resurgence of inflation following the intensified implementation of the 2017 budget in the course of the year. Committee also reasoned that easing would further pull the real interest rate down into negative territory. The argument for holding is largely premised on the need to safeguard the stability achieved in the foreign exchange market and to allow time for past policies to work through the economy. Specifically, MPC factored that the high banking system liquidity level, the need to continue to attract foreign investment inflow to support the foreign exchange market and economic activity, the expansive outlook for fiscal policy in the rest of the year, and the prospective elections related spending which could cause a jump in system liquidity and etc. The MPC expressed concern over the increasing fiscal deficit estimated at 2.51 trillion naira in the first half of 2017 and the crowding out effect of high government borrowing. While urging fiscal restraint to check the growing deficit, the committee welcomed the proposal by government to issue sovereign-backed promissory notes of about 3.4 trillion naira for the settlement of accumulated local debt and contractor arrears. Committee, however, advised management of the bank to monitor the release process of the promissory notes to avoid an excessive injection of liquidity into the system, thereby offsetting the gains so far achieved in inflation and exchange rate stability. On the outlook for financial system stability, committee noted that in spite of the resilience of the banking sector, the prolonged weak macroeconomic environment has continued to impact negatively on the sector's stability. The MPC reiterated its call on the bank to sustain its intensive surveillance of the deposit money bank's activities for the purpose of promptly identifying and addressing vulnerabilities. The committee also called on the deposit money banks to support economic recovery and growth by extending reasonably priced credit to the private sector. Committee's decision. In consideration of the headwinds confronting the domestic economy and the uncertainties in the global environment, the committee decided by a vote of 6-2 to retain the MPR at 14% alongside all other policy parameters. Consequently, 6 members voted to retain the MPR and all other parameters at their current levels, while 2 members voted to ease the stance of monetary policy. In summary, the MPC decided to 1. Retain MPR at 14%, 2. Retain the CRR at 22.5%, 3. Retain the liquidity ratio at 30%, and 4. Retain the asymmetric corridor at plus 200 and minus 500 basis points around the monetary policy rate.